Hello, hello to all of my loved ones. How are you all doing? It's Love Marlene of Love Marlene 411, your channel for all of the love things, the love for ourselves, the love that we show up for your spouse or significant other, your friends, your children, and any relationship that you have generally. Learning to show up with love for yourself. And we talk about healing on that journey and learning to find out who you are, what you want to do, and how to be your best. So, welcome to today's show. If you're new, hit the like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, all of those things. Welcome to the Sip and Chat. I'm your host, Marlene, and I'm waiting for my co host, Miss Nexie. And today we have a good topic. But before we get into that, you know what we do on the Sip and Chat. Let me ask you all, what are you all sipping on? What are you sipping on? I have my beverage. I'm waiting for my co host to come up and I'm going to ask her what she's sipping on. But first, what are you all sipping on? Hey, D Town, Queen Bee, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support. Happy Thursday. I hope you had a fabulous week. Oh, look at my co-host, Miss Nexie, in the building, just coming in with a 490. Thank you so much, Miss Nexie. You know what we have to do. Thank you so much, Miss Nexie. I really appreciate your super sticker. Yes, I'm doing awesome. I hope you are too, Queen Bee, and everybody in the chat. I hope everybody had an awesome Thursday. So, you know that this is Love Marlene 411. How are you doing, loved ones? I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're in a good space mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, physically, all of those things. And if not, maybe today's conversation is going to help you to improve on the love you have for yourself. I did. The link is in here, Miss Nexie. Just scroll up just a little bit and I put Miss Nexie and put the link. So I can put it again right here, Miss Nexie. Oh no, that's the membership. I'm so silly. I was putting the membership link in. The guest one, the guest one, the guest one. Okay, let me do this. Here you go, Miss Nexie. It should be right there in the chat right now. So, how are you, loved ones, doing? Let's do this, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about checking on your strong friends. Hi, Miss Betty. How are you doing? Happy Thursday to you. I appreciate you all. Let's get into this discussion. We're waiting for my awesome co host, Miss Nexie. Today, we're going to be talking about checking on your strong people. I feel like this is a very important discussion to have because we know people who are usually strong for everybody, but who is strong for the strong people? I think that's a very important discussion because it's not working for you. Okay, let me send it to you. Hold on one second, everybody. Are you the representative of strength? are you the representative of being strong? Sometimes we really don't think about the ones that are strong because they always show up for everybody, but who shows up for them? I think that's a very important conversation to have. Who shows up for the strong people? Who's strong for them when they cannot be strong or when they need to have a shoulder to lean on? Who's there to hold them up and to support them? Okay, I see my awesome co host, Miss Nexie, in the background. Let's welcome her to the Sip and Chat.
Miss Marlene. Hello, chat. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing. Amazing, amazing.
That's wonderful. This is new. It wouldn't let me click on the link. For
Hmm.
some reason, every time I clicked it, it will tell me if I wanted to report. And I was gonna report you, but I didn't have anything to report you about.
Oh, no, she didn't, y'all. No, she didn't.
Not yet. That is.
Not yet, but okay. But give me a little time. You have something to report. That's okay, Miss Nexie. I'll allow it. Well, welcome to the Sip and Chat, Miss Nexie. What are you sipping on today? Uh-oh. Did she drop down? Hold on. Is this going to be a live stream with lots of technical difficulties? Seems like it's going to be a technical difficulties live stream. Hey, you're still there, but I can't hear you. Are you still there, Miss Nexie? Queen Bee, are you laughing at me? So I'm going to continue on. Oh, are you off mute, Miss Nexie? Okay, I'll continue on until you're ready. Okay, so Queen Bee says, good friends, real good friends are not easy to find. Who are you telling about that? I searched for a really long period of time trying to find a good friend, but a lot of times you're a good friend, but you're not made to be, no one is a good friend to you. Hi, Miss Nexie.
I don't know what's going on. I wasn't even on mute, but I kept on pressing it just in case. Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
You're back. You're back. You're back. Okay, where we left off, I was just asking, what are you sipping on?
You know me, my coffee with cream and Splenda, and that's pretty much it.
Coffee, coffee,
Coffee, yes,
coffee,
ma'am.
coffee. Okay, Miss Coffee.
What about
All
you, Miss Marlene?
right.
Uh oh, uh oh.
That's right. Today, today, I have a hot toddy. Yep. I have tea with a little bit of tequila.
Oh, party. Well, it is 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's past 5 here.
Not here.
It just feels good to have a little bit of a warm beverage. It's been a long week. So for me, this is my Friday. So
It
yeah.
it feels like a very very long week, but it has gone. Like I cannot believe it's Thursday already, but it felt like it didn't. Like it was taking forever to be Thursday. I don't know.
Forever to be
Yeah,
Thursday. You're right.
it felt like a very long week, but
Very,
not
very,
at all. I don't know. It's just weird. It was a weird week for me as well.
very weird. So, Miss Nexie, today we're talking about checking on your strong people. And I was just saying it, and Queen Bee said it in the chat as well. It's hard to find good friends or find good people. Even to begin with, it's hard to find good people, but it's even harder to find people who will be supportive of your strength because yeah, while you could be a good dad or mom or friend or coworker or this, but how many people are saying, when's the last time you took a vacation? When's the last time you slept in? When did you celebrate yourself or this achievement or that? Like, how many people are there to check on you when you're going through things?
Eh,
Not many people.
not many. And second, you will find those that are supposed to be your really good, strong people, good friends, that get upset because you haven't checked on them. If you know what I mean. Like if you're going through something and you say, "Oh, I'm going through this." Well, I was going through that a week ago. You didn't even check on me. You didn't even ask me. You didn't even text me. Blah blah blah. So they twist. They flip it on you. And a lot of times, I have a few people in my life that are probably those strong people to me, and I try to be that for people as well. But I
Yes.
have had experiences where I am, that person. I had, when I was raising my kiddos when they were little, I had another friend who I will like go and say, you know what, let me take the kids, take a break. You know what I mean? Like, get the afternoon off. I'm gonna take the kids to the park so that you can relax. And I used to do that a lot, but when it came to me, she was always busy doing something. Or,
Mm.
oh, I got mine. I'm so tired, but I'll watch him for you next time. And
Mhm.
every time I needed her for something, she was never, again, it was always something. Oh, my husband is coming home early. Oh, he is. The kids make too much noise, but I'll watch him for you next time. Just let me know in advance. I will get that a lot. So eventually I was like, you know what? It's a one sided thing. I'm over here trying to be a good friend, a good support, but it's not, reciprocating at all.
Exactly. Exactly, Miss Nexie. And I gotta say, shout out to Realist One in the building. Shout out to my mods that are so awesome. Um, Queen Bee says, I have one best friend that is male. We have been friends since high school. Oh, that's good, Queen Bee. It's really good to have people who are your real friends or real loved ones. And for me, I have beautiful people in my life like Miss Nexie and Geo and other people who are not really on social media, but they're there for me when I need someone to be like, what are you doing? And other times to say, you need to sit down, you're doing too much. So that's very important to have that in our lives. To
It,
have people who are like that. Go ahead, Miss Nexie.
no, no, it is. And that's the thing, though. A lot of time, and I don't want to be that person that, you know, repays or pays back with the same coin. But sometimes you have to allow people to feel how you feel so that they can understand that what they're doing is, it's not right. And so they can feel how you feel, right? And I don't like to do that, but sometimes you have to, especially if you have a friend that you really care for, that you're very close to. Sometimes you just have to kind of show them, look, I'm always there. You know what I mean? Anytime you call, anything you need, I'm always there for you. I'm always making sure that you're eating healthy, that you're okay, that that your health is in the right track. And yet when it comes to you, there's certain times when I take a back seat to everybody else in front of me or before me. Sometimes you just have to pay them with the same coin so they can understand.
Yeah. What is it called? What is it called? Give them a taste of their own
Of their own
medicine.
medicine, exactly. And I think I was telling you this the other day. I have a one of my best friends. Whenever she has a boy, a boyfriend or whatever, me and another, it's three of us that are very close, and our other friend, we take a back seat. Her boo is like the most important thing in the world, and she doesn't call us. She doesn't, sometimes doesn't return texts right away. We don't hear from her in a week or two, and we just that she doesn't want to go out with us. She's always with this person or whoever she's with, and then so recently she went through a breakup, and our other friend and I made a pact that we were not gonna ask her, we were not gonna be there, we're going to ignore her the same way she does. And she was so hurt, and she was like, oh my god, none of you were available. I felt like that, like left out. I don't understand why are you guys doing this to me. And then we explained to her, after a month of doing that, this is exactly what you do when you have someone. We take a back seat. You and that other person is first, and you're in the front seat riding to the horizon. To the horizon. Where the beach is sunny, and we're in the, underneath a roof in the rain. You don't care.
Yeah.
But she understood and she apologized. But that's the thing, we've been friends for a very long time. And she's boy crazy, so we know that. But it didn't bother us before as it is bothering us now, because it's something that continues to go on.
Yeah. And I wanted to highlight this comment. I'm going to go right back to what you were saying, Miss Nexie, but I wanted to highlight this comment from Realist, because what D Town says, he says, honestly, I've always heard most women say the same thing, because Queen B was saying that she does not have any women friends. It's hard to find women, like I said in my comment, that are mature. You can know a lot of women, but finding mature woman friends that will be supportive and not like, jealous of you or trying to compare you or be in competition or try to get with the person you're in a relationship. It's hard to find women that are not trying to, oh, you have to be like me or trying to change your personality. I mean, women who are secure within themselves and I allow you to be you, you allow me to be me, and we know how to support each other and also kick each other in the butt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've heard that before too. And again, I'm a person that doesn't have a whole bunch of friends. Like a lot of them, I have three best friends, and I consider them best friends. I because again, it's the same thing. It's either they're they are one way with you, and then behind your back, they're shooing you left and right and spitting you out, and or are jealous of your work ethic, or if somebody pays you a compliment, they're jealous of that compliment. So again, like you said, always in competition. And I had been, it's funny that you say that, because I have been betrayed by females. I've never been betrayed in a friendship by a male. It's weird.
Yeah, but you know what I think it is, Miss Nexie? Most of the time when it comes to men, men usually are just like how you see them is how they are. Not saying all
Mm-hmm.
the time, but the majority of women of men are not two-faced.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, ladies. I'm just being honest. Most ladies are like they show you one side of them, and then the next time you see, like they barely talk to you, depending on if they're with their man or they're with their other friends. Either they don't know you or they just like kind of cold towards you. Like, you're like, what? Like,
Mm.
that's weird.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. And uh, you know, males, most of them, as you say, they are, what you see is what you get. I have two good, male best friends that are that I can count on for anything. They're amazing. We grew up together. You know, we've known each other forever. So and I have had their girlfriends and some, wives that have tried to destroy that friendship because of jealousy, and they don't understand that there is nothing like that between us, that we're more like brothers and, brother and sister than we are anything else. But their significant others sometimes gets jealous or upset, or they befriend me and, trying to get info from that other person. It's weird, but I have two male friends that are, very close, and it's hard to find, um, sometimes, a girlfriend that you can be yourself with, close, and completely trust,
Yeah.
and that would accept you, like you said, for who you are. I have had people. I had a friend in the past that I was friends with for a very long time, and I came to find out that she was, trashing me behind my back to other people, and the saddest thing is, it took somebody that she had, that a new friendship that we had formed, uh, it took that person's mother to come to me and say, she's not your friend.
Mm.
She said this and this and this about you. And, I don't know you very well, but the little that I heard, how she expressed herself about you the other day, I can tell you, because I'm older, I've lived longer, that she's not a true friend. She's not your friend. Be
Mm.
careful. It took that for me to say, wait a minute, what's going on, what's happening, because sometimes we will go around, other a new circle of friends, and it will be okay, then a few days later they wouldn't talk to me, or they would look at me kind of side eye, kind of funny, and I was like, I would always be like, what happened? Did I do something wrong? And after this lady said this to me, I started putting two and two together, and understanding that she was probably doing this behind my back with other people as well, which
You
is
just
why they
you
were giving me.
well, she was probably doing that all along. You just
Yes,
didn't find out yet.
exactly. And if this is a friendship of 14 years, Marlene.
Wow.
14. 1 4.
Wow.
Yep.
And they just throw it away. I do want to highlight what Realist was saying a little bit ago. When he was saying, when they're talking about the conversation, and lots of women say that they can't find a true friend, and Realist was asking, is it envy? And my
Mm,
thought is, I believe that it's insecurity.
yes.
A lot of women, when they don't know themselves, they don't, if you really think about it, if you don't know yourself, how can you be supportive of another woman being her best and being happy, and and doing her thing, and especially if her business is going good, she's in a healthy relationship, her finances are good. If you are not in a good space as a woman, and you see another woman having those things, yeah, you're going to find a way to either try to ruin her life or something.
And we're not saying everybody is like that. We're not. We're just saying that the experiences that we have had, right? That you and I have probably had with other friendships. Um, I try to be, in my friendships the same way I want others to be with me. I'm transparent. I'm very outspoken, not disrespectful, but I will say something to you if I don't like it. I will, if I see that you're probably, make are going to make a mistake or about to, I'll probably bring it up in a, in a subtle kind of way. Uh, get your attention, or that's the type of friend that I am. So I want someone like that too. I can be the type that, is there just, if you have something going on, I will just be there to listen to. If you need somebody for a crime, then you cannot contact me. Because I'll sing if we get caught. I'll be singing all
Oh,
the
I
way to the
I already
to
know
the
that
station.
about you. Do not tell Miss Nexie something
Nope.
and expect for her. She's not going to keep your secrets.
Nope, I'm gonna sing it all the way to the station, to the police station. I'll tell you anything you want, officer. Anything.
Yeah, that's how that's going to be. But in all seriousness, um, I was just thinking about something about there's so many great women out there. I've really met some amazing people in my life, but unfortunately, and it makes me sound like strange or something, but it's the honest truth. Hold on a second. Um, it's like some women are so phenomenal. Like you could have so many talented women, you know, so many that have so much talents, but because of their insecurities or because their relationship they're in or their relatives or other people around them, they listen to other people and don't have enough courage and love for themselves to believe in themselves to know when they're around toxic relationships.
Hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, it will take, because we have gone through this, right? We have had friends that we consider them friends, and have always been there for them, or we're always there for them, trying to be the best that we could be towards them, and are around people that are putting, you know, ugly thoughts in their head about us, and friendships end because of it. Eventually, when they find out that, they listened to the wrong person and they want to reestablish friendships with us, at least with me, it's, it will never happen again.
Hmm.
Because I don't know, for me is, I trust you until you show me that I cannot. So I give my friendship like that. I don't go into a friendship with, reservations or trust issues. I go straight into, I trust you with
Hmm.
everything I got until you prove to me that I cannot
Yep.
trust you. That's how I enter friendships. So when you have someone that you have been friends with,
Is that me breaking up or is that Miss Nexie? Can you all hear me? I don't know if it's me. I may go out and come back because I'm not hearing anything. I'll be right back, guys. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? How about Miss Nexie? Okay, you say you can hear me? Okay. Okay. Maybe it was just me. I'm sorry, Miss Nexie. Yes, as Realist was saying, I feel like as long as I go by that code, I can't go wrong. Yeah. You have to know what feels right. And when it doesn't feel right, It's just best for you to move on from people who are users and takers. I do think that my old friend was very insecure because she had been in so many abusive relationships and I have not. Ah, that explains a lot, Queen Bee. I hear you.
You can hear me now? Yay!
Yes, it's perfect. It's perfect.
I don't know
And
what's happening.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the little the magical people in the background for StreamYard, or is it YouTube, or both.
Or or us. Who knows?
So what Queen Bee was saying, she said she thinks that her friend was very insecure because she had been in many abusive relationships, and she said I have not. Yeah, when you've been in abusive relationships, speaking from experience, when you go through things, you act different. It's not that you don't trust people, but you don't want to be hurt again.
It's hard to trust again, I guess. But
Mhm.
I've had friends that people that we have, and which is why at work I try to keep it as as polite as I can. Hi, bye, and I do not form any friendships because I have been burned in the past. But
Mhm.
I have had friendships that coworkers are developing into friendships, and then um, there's insecure that when I meet their family and their husbands, they get they become really weird sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah, or if their kids like me more, like if they're talking to me a lot, or I'm playing, they become kind of like jealous or something, like weird. And
Yeah.
it has happened to me before, and I get it. They're insecure, they're not in the right state of mind, I guess, at that point. But
Yeah.
why I stop is because even when the friendship ends, in whatever way it does, if it's with a coworker, you have to continually see this person at work, and it's uncomfortable. But I have had many times that if the husbands are talking to me, they will say, "Yo, oh, my husband was talking to you a lot yesterday," and be like, "Yeah, we were talking about work. Yeah, it seemed like a very long time." Or if the husband will say hi to me, you know, somewhere else, they will come back and say, "Oh, so and so told me that he said hi to you yesterday at the store. I didn't know you guys went to the same store." Those type of comments. You're
That's
like,
weird.
right? You're like, yeah, the store is by our neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like we go there. I go there a lot. I'm sure he probably goes there. Like it's not. It wasn't like a secret meeting or anything like that. But comments like that is that make you feel like, yeah, no, this is not gonna work,
Yeah,
or you're
for
very
me that's
insecure.
that for me that's showing that you don't trust me. Like, oh, I my husband told me you were talking to him. Like, okay, what are you trying to say? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, like, and I'm like, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, okay, what are you trying to say?
yeah, exactly. It's like, you know what I mean. And you're not. Again, it's comments like that you're like, okay, because my husband has before had seen all of my friends, but I'm not gonna go to work and say, "Oh yeah, my husband told me he saw you there, and you guys were talking for a while." So blah 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 blah. Like I wouldn't do that because again, you trust the friendship, and I'm a very secure person, so I wouldn't take it there. Like it wouldn't make a difference to me. I'll be happy, that, oh yeah, he saw you, whatever. Or if they say, hey, I saw your husband at the store. Oh yeah, yeah, he told me. It's different than coming to accuse someone that I don't know. It has happened to me, and it was kind of weird. So it made me feel uncomfortable because I felt like it was like with the double meaning I don't know if that's how it was meant to be, but I felt that it had a double meaning in the way that she told me that her husband had seen me at the store or was talking to me at the store or something like that. I don't know.
Wow.
I felt
Wow.
I felt uncomfortable.
But yeah, who wouldn't feel uncomfortable? It's like if you go somewhere and okay, say your friend's husband or vice versa, opposite. Oh, you run into their partner, their husband or wife, and then they're like, "You didn't tell me you saw my husband there." Like, I didn't know you were going to be there when I wasn't there, and you're
Yeah.
like, I was
I
like,
left.
you just made this super weird.
Yeah. I didn't know I was supposed to tell you every time I saw your husband. If that is the case, then we shouldn't be friends anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not a
And
spy.
yeah. And it's to me, that already highlights that you have trust issues.
There you go. Yeah, that you're not a very confident person.
Mhm.
You don't feel that you are someone very strong. Like a very strong, intelligent, smart, and confident woman.
Yeah.
Because on those, you have to choose your words. Like for me, is like I said, I have friends that have come out of nowhere and make sure every week or every other week, Nexie, how you doing? Is everything okay? I haven't heard from you. Text me. Just let me know that you're doing okay. Have you been sleeping okay? Because I remember you suffer from insomnia. So I just want to make sure. People like that make your day and make your
Mhm.
life happy because they are worried about you, about your health, about, they're not focusing on things around, they're actually focusing on you. I think those are the friends that we should have more of.
Yeah, and in talking about checking on your strong friends, it's very important. When we talk about friendship, you have to be your own friend before you can be a friend to other people because I've made a lot of mistakes in friendships. You know, to
Hmm.
being there, hey, you need money? Sure. You need a ride? Sure. You need me to take care of your kids? Sure. I was always supporting my friends, but when it came to me, I wasn't getting anything reciprocated. There was
Hmm.
nothing coming back to me. There wasn't no checking on me. Do you need a ride? Or,
Yeah.
do you want to go to this? Or do you need something? How can I help you or support you? So I had to learn in friendship that I have to be my own friend first. And if I find that somebody is only taking from me and it's only one sided, I was just talking about that today on my other live stream about, loving yourself enough to know when it's time to walk away.
it, exactly. Great point, Miss Marlene. And I think I've said this to you before. I was that person in my family, even if I was tired, but if somebody needed a ride, somebody needed me to go pick them up, I was always there until I had a need for someone to give me a ride because my car was in the shop. Nobody, Marine, of the 4 people, 5 people in the family that I was constantly doing this for, not one was able to do it.
Mm.
Oh, I'm very low on gas. I'll give you money for it. Oh, I just got home from work. I guess. I mean, when do you want to? Like, how
Yeah,
far is it? Do
like
you want
if
it
they
right
do,
now?
it, then it's with an attitude. Oh, why can't you ask your husband?
Yeah.
Why can't you ask this person or that person? I'm not asking them. I'm asking you. And you're just like, never mind, forget it.
Yeah. I'm asking you who I'm always doing this for. So when that happened and I saw that, the person, the one that gave me the ride at the end, and again, I wasn't doing it to try them or anything. I was doing it because of, I felt like I'm always doing this for them. I'm always willing, able, and ready to do anything they ask, they need rights or whatever for. I'm sure they're gonna be fighting over who's gonna come pick me up, right?
Hmm. Exactly.
One said, "Oh, I just got home from work. I just took off my shoes. I'm on my pajamas, and oh, I'm so tired. But I could pick you up later if you want." And then the other one was, "I'm very low on gas. But I guess I could make it to your house, and if you could give me for the gas, then I can take you," which is something that I never did to them.
Wow. They wanted
Yeah,
gas money.
yep. And
Interesting.
I have never ever, like, I will take them 25 miles, 50 back and forth, right? No problem. At any time of the day, it didn't matter. Sometimes I had just come from work in traffic, and they will ask me to come pick them up. I will drop everything and go do it. So this is the reason, like, when this happened to me, when they, the three people that I was able to contact gave me that, I said, this ends here. And in my head, I was like, you know what? You're going to have more need of me than I'm going to have of you going forward.
Hmm.
And so, they will call me and I wouldn't answer. And they will call me, call me, call me, call me, call me, call me. And, "Oh, I've been calling you all day. I needed you to do me a favor and drop me off." The person that asked, I said, "Well, I can, but I'm going to need gas money." "I don't make enough money. I barely blah 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 blah." "Okay, I'm gonna need gas money. So if you don't have money for the gas, then I can't. You may want to call
Hmm.
a taxi or something. Or why don't you try any of your other siblings? Your other family." And, "Oh, well, I was trying you first." "Yeah, no, try everybody else. If it fails, call me back, and then I'll see if depending on how much money you have for gas." And then the other one, I again, people don't understand that we need from everybody. We all need from everyone. Like, life is unsure as it is. Not having anyone you can count on makes it even harder to be in this,
Yes.
living this life. So I stopped, and the thing, and this is the thing, like, once I stopped giving the rides, picking up, going to the grocery store for them, doing all those things, they became my enemies. Now I was the
Hmm.
bad person. Now I was so mean. Now I was all these other things that, never mind all the years that I did all these favors for you.
Oh
But me
no.
saying no
It
to
just went
one or
out, Miss
two,
Nexie. It went out again.
it did. Can you hear me, Miss Marley? Oh, not again.
Or is it just me?
Hello? I'm not sure if you can hear me, Miss Marlene.
Maybe it's just me. I don't hear
I
anything.
I my thing is moving,
Okay.
so it's probably you, Miss Marlene.
Okay, it's me. It was me.
It was you? Okay, good, because my avatar, you know how it moves when you speak? The little
Yeah.
circle? Yeah,
Yeah.
mine was
No,
okay.
what happened is I got a text message when you were talking, and I was like, oh no, not again. Don't mind me.
Oh my.
Continue, Miss Nexie. Continue. Don't mind me. I'm going to go on mute.
No, no, what I'm saying is, never mind all these years and all the favors that you did for them. That didn't have any weight or any meaning for them. The one time that I said no, that was the shell breaker. That was the problem. That's what turned me into their enemy, or not their friend anymore. And it saddened me, because I'm thinking, all these years I have been there for you. I've done so much for you, but this one time that I say no is the one that makes you my enemy now,
Hmm.
or me your enemy. Like, it is sad. But then, as time goes on and we become more mature and we become a little bit older, we realize that we should have never been friends with them, family or not. We should have never been there for them so much, because we neglect good friendships because of family sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, I say that all the time, that your friend is loves you more than your own blood. You know.
Yes.
Yes, it's I've seen that in real time. Like, you have your friends and they're right there leaning on you. You know, they're a shoulder to lean on. They're giving you support. They're asking you, "Did you eat? Did you sleep?" In your own family, see, you just got off work, and they're like, "What's going on? Didn't you make dinner?"
Yeah. Oh, I was waiting. No, they see you coming from an all-nighter, and they're there waiting with their purse and everything. Hey, I was waiting for you. Can you give me a ride? Blah 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 blah. And then pick me up later. And you're looking at them. I just got out of work. What do you mean? Can you? No, I'm going to bed. You know what I mean? And you see
Exactly.
friends that you get out of work and they say, okay, take a nap. Call me when you wake up. Okay. I'm not going to bother you so you can rest. Make sure you rest.
Yep. I've had friends that have loved me more than my own family, because Miss Nexie, we're night workers, so it's like when
Yes.
we work nights, and you barely have enough strength to get up and walk yourself to the refrigerator. I've had my friends say, "Hey, hey, get out of bed. There's some food I left on your doorstep."
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah, because they said, "I know you're not eating. I know you're just sleeping," and I'm like, guilty, going to the door.
And those, and sometimes because of guilt, or we're guilted on by, by our parents or whatever, as that's your cousin. Like, why are you gonna,
Hmm.
leave her aside just to go with your friend? Go with your cousin. That's blood. Blah 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 blah. Sometimes you lose good friendships because of, doing things like that, because of the guilt that you feel, or that you have been put on by other family members, that you're supposed to stick to blood. And that's not 100% a fact. Sometimes your blood takes more advantage of you, um, and neglects you, and care less about you than a true friend.
Exactly. And we have to highlight this comment by Realist, because he says people make you feel like crap if you ask them for a favor that you would have done for them, especially family. Mm.
Exactly. Oh my God. Did you
Oh
read
man.
Quinby, Miss Quinby?
Uh huh. Which one?
The last comment. Wow.
Oh yeah. My sister owes me $3,000 for furniture. My niece stole my car keys and tore up my new $18,000 car. And let's not talk about me supporting my mom's gambling habit. Oh,
Wow.
I don't even know what to say about that. Because I'll be honest with you, I have certain people within my family that I don't deal with them. I've completely cut off all communication with them. Like, if it's
Hmm.
something important, of course I'm still gonna show up for them if they're sick or something. But like, it's only a as needed basis.
Yeah.
It's only an as needed basis. And I hate to say this, but that's something you may need to do with your those certain individuals in your family, that are treating you this way, because unfortunately, until we cut people off, they're going to keep continuing on.
And that's what I did. Remember, we were saying that, and a lot of people don't understand. A lot of my family sometimes, judge me for taking these steps, or going this far, as to completely erasing them from my existence. Like, phone numbers, I don't communicate, I ignore, I don't visit. If they're, if I know that that person is gonna be, over, I try not to prolong my stay. I make a quick visit and, take off. My A lot of my family criticizes me because of it, but, Marlene, I have found, um, a lot more happiness dealing with it this way and ignoring the fact that they are taking that other person's side of things instead of mine. So I continue on this way and I'm happy. I'm happy that I don't have to deal with this, with the negativity around or the taking advantage of. I have, savings, I have money, I have more time in my hands, which is beautiful because I don't have to be going everywhere with everyone. I have peace of mind and I have time for me. I have my me time.
I love that. I love
Yes.
that. I love that. One thing that I learned is when I started to move away from toxic energy, toxic people, just in general, like not staying at a job that I hated, like I don't know who's ever been at a job and they like hate it, like you dread waking up when you get home from work. You're like, I have to go back there tomorrow and I got to deal
Yes.
with this person and I got to deal with that person, and you take that energy home and then you start snapping at other people. I For me, this is me personally, I'm not telling anybody how to feel and how to live, but I can't stay places where I'm not appreciated.
It,
I can't.
true that. 100%.
I can't.
You shouldn't. You know what I mean? You're going to a workplace where you're uncomfortable with. So you're really earning that money because you're there, but you don't feel that, you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel appreciated, you don't feel that it's the right place for you. Why should you stay there? You know what I mean? Like, why? Life is, like I said, life is hard as it is. Complicating it more, going to a place where you're not comfortable, where you have to drag yourself there, when you're dreading the next day because you have to go back. Staying in a place like that is unhealthy. It's unhealthy for you as well.
What, Miss Nexie? I think honestly, after being on a job for such a long time, I think the job was the one that was making me sick. Like I would be at work and then like my stomach was hurting me all the time, but it was the anxiety of the people I was dealing with, the managers and the micromanagement, and you never feeling like you can do enough in that environment. It's always like do more, do more, do more. And
Hmm.
at that job, my stomach was always hurting. I know if I had to stay at that job, Miss Nancy, I wouldn't be here anymore.
And it's, again, there's choices, especially in the field that you and I are in. There's always, there's always places hiring because of our specialty. But the thing here, having to, because I've been in a few places that I hated to go to. I loved the patients because I loved my patients, but I didn't like the people around, the staff, and having to go there and enjoying the weekend, and they saying, "Oh my God, I have to go to work tomorrow. I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it." I used to get a lot of migraines. I used to get this, a little bit of anxiety before I went in, and you have to watch your back because these people are gossiping around you. A place like that is not, it's not somewhere that we should be. It's the same as with once you start seeing everything for what it is, life becomes a lot easier.
Exactly. When you are, it doesn't matter in any relationship you're dealing with. It could be your spouse or significant other. It could be your kids. It can be your relatives. It can be your friends. It could be the job. In any relationship, if you're not being respected, if you're not being cared for, supported, appreciated, then you just need to leave those people alone.
That is not a place for you.
We have to know that we deserve better than settling. Because I
Mm-mm.
know for so many years, Miss Nexie, I would settle. I settled in a relationship thinking this is as good as I can get. or with friendships like I was the good friend, but they were never a friend to me, or with relatives, always being one sided. And, I asked myself one day, whose choice is it whether or not I do this? Me. So I'm just not going to do it anymore.
Exactly. And but to getting to the point, it takes a lot of um mistakes, a lot of um losing a lot of good friendships. It takes a lot for you to get to this point. And I'm telling you from experience, because I was always guilted into, well, that's your cousin, or that's your sibling, or that's your kid. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to be there for them. And I had to learn that not really. Your kid, your sibling, your cousin, if they're not respecting you, respecting your boundaries, then you shouldn't be there. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but I feel like we have lost so much time, with people that do not deserve our friendships, or, the familial relationship that we have with them. We have lost um, so much time, money, effort, sleepless nights, our health, to please people that are not ready to please us.
Hmm. That is good, Miss Nexie. People who are not ready to please us because we're pleasing them, they're getting all the benefit. And it's like, I thought about it one day, like, wait a minute. I'm using my gas, I'm using my money, I'm all stressed out, and they don't care. And I'm like, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
And again, but it takes a lot of heartache, a lot of a, a self analysis, pretty much, to say, hey, I'm doing all this. What are they bringing to our friendship, or, to our family ties? What are they doing for me? If, they're not giving you back, and I don't mean they have to give you money or whatever, but if they're not nurturing you in any way, then why are we here? Like, why am I here? Why am I sacrificing, my time, my efforts, and sometimes my money? Because, you either give them rides, or take them out to eat, or lend them money, whatever that it is. Why am I doing all this if I'm not getting anything in return?
Exactly.
It takes a lot.
And I think that everybody has to get to that space, like that. What's the old saying? You're not going to get sick and tired until you get sick and tired.
Exactly. Exactly, Miss Marlene. But you have to get to that. Nope. Nobody can tell you. Nobody can make you. It has to come from you. That's the one thing that I had to realize, because, my sister will say certain things like, well, didn't you do them that favor about a week ago? Didn't you? You know what I mean? Like, trying to tell me, hey,
Yep.
wake up. They're taking advantage of you. Or, weren't you the one who picked them up? Why aren't they doing this for you now? So, my sister tried for a very long time, I guess, to, kind of warn me, like, hey, these are not your friends, or even if they're family, they're not really, doing anything good for you. So you got to move on. She couldn't do it straight out, so she had to gradually, kind of like, okay, um, where are you going now? I'm doing this and that. With who? Blah, blah, blah. Why? Again? Really? Didn't you do that this other day? So it took a long time for me to kind of like get it.
Yep.
sister, when I finally, she'll be like, "Oh my God, about time."
Mm. Yep. You know, we don't get things until we get things.
And
So
it cannot be by anybody else's. It has to be by your own discovery. It cannot be somebody else's thoughts or somebody else telling you. You will find out. You will eventually get it. And once that happens, you get rid of people that are not doing anything good in your life, people that are not benefiting you in any way, and you realize that they were harming you more than they were helping you.
exactly. You know, and one thing that I'll add to that, like my therapist taught me, if somebody is not, what is it, the three H's, helping, I can't, it's something else. It was one in the middle, helping something or healing. It'll probably
Hmm.
come to me later, but she always talked about the three H's. If somebody isn't helping or healing you, then they're going to be hurting you.
Hmm.
So we have to make a choice, you know. Got it. You have to make a choice and you have to elevate, because I'll say this, sometimes we don't think that we deserve something because we feel like they're such a person. Well, everybody's just they're just a human being just like you. There's no differences. We're all
Yeah.
humans.
But
So
also too, Miss Marlene, I'm sorry to interrupt. For me, when it came to family, it was mostly I was guilted into believing that because they're family, right? We got to do everything in our power to help them, everything in our power to um, go way above and beyond anybody else because they're our relatives. You're supposed to. That's what you got to do. And it had, I had to learn, and yeah, through therapy and an awakening that I had, that they can be my relatives, but if they're not doing anything for me, um, to make me a better person, then what they're doing is probably, harming me more than they're benefiting me. And I had to start, telling myself, unlearning certain behaviors, right? That are passed on from generation to generation. And I had to learn that even if it's family, if it's not someone that it's in making your life better, making you want to be a better human being, elevating you, energizing you, making you feel like $1 million. If it's not, even if it's family, but if that person is not doing one third or one half of that for you, then they shouldn't have a space in your life. They shouldn't be
exactly.
taking anything. But it took me a lot of, I had to do a lot of unlearning behaviors. I had to unlearn certain
Yes.
behaviors. And I
You,
had to let go to those myths that because it's family and it's a sin if you don't help them,
mm-hmm.
and you're gonna go, where,
Yeah, if
fire
you don't help
and
them.
if you don't help them, you're gonna be punished by the higher ups. It took me a lot of time and a lot of anxiety, because at the same time I had a lot of anxiety because I was stepping, like in uncommon ground for me. I was actually saying
Yeah.
no to family. I was actually saying no to helping someone. So it took a lot of anxiety, a lot of growing up, a lot of maturity for me to say, no, I'm not going to be punished because it's not a sin if I don't help them. Even though they're family, they're not really being family to me. So it took me a while, but I finally got it.
Exactly. You have to learn to be, your own family first.
Mm-hmm.
And also, in speaking about this, checking on your strong friends, sometimes people forget, like, if you're in a relationship, that, you know, just because a person may have a woman or may have a man, it doesn't mean that they don't need friendship. They don't need support. And I think it's crazy sometimes when people say, well, I didn't want to call you because I know you were with your person. I was like, so what?
Yeah.
So what?
It,
They're like, oh, but when I'm with my man, I can't talk to anybody. So
yeah.
I,
What's
and
up
I'm
with
like,
that?
what in the world?
That wouldn't be me.
Yeah. I'm like, well, that's not me. Okay.
I'm
Mhm.
telling you, Marlene, I have had friends that, once they get, a boyfriend or whatever, you know, their focus, their entire focus is on that person.
Yeah.
They don't talk, they don't call you every day or text you every day until they break up or something happens.
You don't hear from them for like two
Yes,
years.
exactly. And you see them, you see their pictures posting everywhere, going here, going that, and you're like, and you didn't invite me. We used to do that before. Like, we used to go
Mhm.
there all the time, and you didn't even bother to. You went
Yeah.
with so and so and so and so. Why wasn't I invited? So, but you
Yeah.
have to put those. There's categories for all those, and that's the one thing I always tell people. Relationships are, it's like a business. You have to organize them,
Mhm.
prioritize
Yeah.
those that are worthy of your prioritization, and then neglect or put aside the other ones that are not worth your time or your effort. It's like a business.
It is exactly. And also within friendship there's categories. There
Yes,
and there's
yes,
levels to
it
it.
should be.
Yeah, and there's levels to it. It's like a person like, okay, they're a new friend, so I don't know where to put you yet. So I'm gonna keep you like on level one. And then the people who have developed the trust, you have your higher levels 1 to 10. It's like some people are on level 3 or 4. And then when
Some
some
never
people mess up,
advance.
and then some people like, nope, you're out of here. You're not on any level anymore. So
Yeah, some never advance. They stay at the same level for a very long time, sometimes
yeah.
forever.
Mhm.
But that's okay.
And then some people, I had to learn the difference between a friend and associate. And a lot of people don't understand that there is a difference. You can know somebody for
Yes.
a long time and they can be nice and kind to you, but it doesn't mean they're your friend. They're just somebody that you know of them from somebody and they're cool and nice and everything, but it's not your friend.
Yeah, again, those are things that, as you go through life, you learn, right? And it took me, again, it took me a long time to get to the point where I said, okay, let's see. And there's a lot of, sometimes you have to do some, testing on people to see how they're going to react to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like doing that, but sometimes you have to see, the what type of friendship they have with you.
Yeah.
And I had to do that a lot because I was wasting all this time and all this effort on people that weren't doing the same for me. I just didn't see it.
Yeah. And you have to also see, like, like you said, test things out. I know some people say don't test because that's petty, but I believe in testing people from time to time. I need to see, like, okay, if this happens, what do you do? Okay, if I put it myself in this situation, I said, I really would like to do that, but I don't have the money. And you know full well you have the money, but you're testing them. Like, well, oh, I'm sorry, I guess you can't go. And you're like, whoa, okay, all right. Mm-hmm. Or are they
Again,
going to be like, oh, it's cool, I got you? You
hmm
know, that's the difference.
I have done that. I had family and friends that because I'm the type of person, if I have it, again, my friendship is pure in the beginning, 100%, until you prove to me that I cannot be 100% with you. So I have lent money to others. I don't do that anymore, but in the past I had. Anything you need, 150, 200, I'll pay you whenever. Sure, no problem. It was always there, willing and ready. Until I started asking for, just to test them, hey, can I borrow $10? I'll give them to you in a couple of weeks. Oh, I don't have any right now. Oh, I wish I could.
Wow.
Okay. Um, five, I'll take five. Yeah, no, I don't have anything, any cash right now. I mean, we can go to the bank. No, I have for the bills right now, but I wish I could. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll be thinking, like, okay, when you came over to ask me, and it
Wow.
has not been once, it's been several times that I have, lent you this money. I didn't hesitate. I just gave it to you, regardless of how many bills I had to pay, right? Because at that point, you don't care. You just want to help that person. But right now, for $20 or $10, you're giving me all these excuses.
Yep.
Wow. So sometimes you have to do that to see
Yeah.
who is who.
Yeah. You do. You have to test and see who is who. It's just how it is. Queen Bee says, that's why I said for me now, my friendship is earned, no longer given. I can understand that. I
Hmm.
can understand that when you go through things, you act differently. Just like I'll never ever be the same in romantic relationships after you get burned by a really bad person. You'll never
Oh,
ever
yeah.
be the same again. And the same thing with friendships. When you get burned by certain individuals, you'll never be the same again. So, of course, you're going to adjust based on what you have been through.
Yeah,
But
your experiences.
yeah, yeah,
It, it, it,
you're trying to protect
100%.
yourself.
Queen
Yeah.
Bee, 100%. You have to
Hey,
do whatever
Shelly.
works for you.
Hey, Shelly. How are you doing? Welcome.
Hi, Shelly. And but again, it takes a lot of getting away from upbringing. That's why I said before. The childhood is what adulthood is. We try to overcome our entire adult life, right? Childhood is the one thing that we try to overcome as adults, because when we're little and people are telling you, oh, if you don't help family, that's a sin. God
Yep.
is going to punish you if you, regardless of what they do, if you disrespect your auntie, oh my God, you're gonna get punished by God, because that's your auntie and you're supposed to respect her. So overcoming all of that and realizing actually that that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get punished if I put her in her place because she's disrespecting me. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go where there's a lot of fire, where,
Hmm.
and with somebody with two little horns, because I
Because
tell
you
my
didn't let
aunt,
them run over you.
yes, because I put my auntie or my uncle in their place, or my cousins, or because I don't help them, or because I don't take their crap. I'm not gonna go anywhere. God doesn't work that way. So a lot of times, we are victims of our environment, right? How we are brought up is how we act as adults. And sometimes, we continue on the path or that pattern because we don't get the help that we need to be able to strive to be better, to overcome everything that has happened to us growing up and in our past.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful that I was able to get my therapy and able to get to where I am now, is that, I'm going, like, I give my friendship,
Hmm.
who I am. Here it is. Until you prove to me that I am not, that you're not going to be that friend to me. At that point, and that's the way I work. That's the way I do best. I cannot go into a friendship not trusting or not. You know what I mean? Like 100%. I can't do that. That's how I work, though.
Yeah, I always have some reservations, and that's why, my mom always used to say that even in romantic relationships, she said you never tell that people everything about you. I don't care what
Nope.
relationship it is. There's some things that you need to keep to yourself. That's a personal, private thing. Like, no, you ain't gonna know that.
It,
Nope. Mm-mm.
that's the one thing you know how I don't know how it is, but in our my Hispanic family, um, there's the one thing that sometimes for me was kind of different. Maybe because I'm so independent. I've always worked. I've always liked to earn my own money, have my own money. Um, but I remember growing up when when the wife, my sisters, they were married, and I'm the last of six, so I saw them growing up in their marriages, and every weekend, the husbands would give them a certain amount for the week, and they had to make do with that amount because that only the husband worked or whatever. But I will always say growing up, that is not going to be me. I am going to be married, and I'm going to work, and I'm going to make my own money so that I can spend it anywhere I want. So it was something that it was weird to me, you know to have the husband manage all of the money, and you have no say on it. I don't know if it's like that for you guys as well, Marlene.
I can't speak on that either because I'm not speaking from an American standpoint. So I would have to ask somebody who is a full American. I'm Jamaican, so I
The
don't.
American.
Yeah, I can't really speak on that 100% because even though I've been raised here, I have a Caribbean background like yourself. So Caribbean people, we are not like our lives
But
are a little bit different.
yes, but
Yeah.
Marlene, growing up back home, this is how it was. But me, my independent self, because I've always been like that. My dad always called me grandma. Oh, there's grandma. Hey, granny, because he said that I was so far ahead from everybody else. My thought process was different. But I will see my sisters, their husbands, and they were content. They were happy. They have beautiful marriages and everything, but the husband worked, they stayed at home, and I would look at that and say, oh no, oh no, no, I'm gonna have my own money, I'm gonna do whatever I want with my money.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna depend on anyone. And my dad always, he raised us like that too. But at the same time, my sisters, they had their kids, and back home is different, right? Than
Hmm.
it is here. But that's the one thing I never, I don't, even to this day, I don't understand, because I have, cousins, and from my husband's side too, a lot of the family, a lot of the girls stay at home, and only the husband works,
Right.
and they're doing the same thing that it was done over there. And I'm looking at them, and I'm like, we're in America. Go out to work. You can find a part-time job when your kids are at school.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly, Miss
why do
Next.
you have to stay at home? I don't know. That it never made sense to me. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Miss Nexty because there's certain things that kind of irk me about my Jamaican background. I mean, it really irks me. I'm like, you're not in Jamaica anymore.
That's exactly what I wanted to say, but I didn't want to say it here.
That's what I tell like my family. Like they're still acting. I was like, this is not Jamaica. I was like, this is America. Like I'm gonna pull my hair out like and scream. I'm like, no, we do not do that. We are free. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
and and again, it's weird because there's a lot of family, and I'm not trying to criticize them for living that type of life. No, it's okay for them. But I guess for me, because I'm so independent, that
Mhm.
that is not something I could live with.
Yeah.
I
See,
have to like
see,
finances. I don't know.
see, Miss Lexi, the way that I was raised like my dad was always in my ear, like to all of his girls, because you know how many girls my we
Yes.
had, and my dad was always like, my mom used to always be like, remember, a husband is the plan, and my dad used to be like, remember, your husband is not the plan. So always had two sides because my mom was just, that's who she was. That was her plan. And, and thankfully for her, it worked out great because, they say married 52 years and that worked out. But my dad says, well, you can have that as a plan, but make sure you have your education, make sure you have your own money and all of those things
Yeah.
that, if it works out, or what if suddenly your husband gets sick? What
Yeah.
is your plan
That,
then?
that that's the thing, Marlene.
You
Oh
know.
my God, I'm glad you brought that up. That is the whole thing. For me, my dad always said, do not rely on men because we're very unreliable. That's what my father always said. Even if you get married, find yourself, learn how to do something. Learn how to bake, learn how to make beautiful cake, learn a trade, learn something, even if you don't use it your entire married life. Learn it, because men sometimes we're unreliable, and he will say no, most of the time we're unreliable. So always have a backup plan. And for me, I love my sisters, and I'm glad that they have their marriages, and they're happy and they're content and it has worked for them. But for me, it's always been like, maybe because I saw the need that we had in our family growing up. It was always like, what if something happens to your husband and you cannot pay the mortgage, and your house is taken away, or you lose your apartment because you cannot pay the rent? What? Poor guy, he's not going to get better because he's going to be worrying that he's the only one that works. And second, how is it that you don't know how to do it, anything? Like, I asked the other day, we were talking about interest rates, on our mortgages, right? On certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked one of my sister-in-laws, like, what about you guys? What is your rates? And, oh, I don't know what that is. What do you mean you don't know what that is? Well, I don't, what do you mean? I said, don't you know how much you guys pay for the house? What is your monthly payment? Your house insurance? You know what I mean? Like, they had no idea. They don't even know what that means. And that's a scary thought, because look at the time that we're in, right? And look at what just happened with COVID. Like, how do you not know? How do you not get yourself informed? You can read, grab the papers, get a dictionary, get your phone, type in the words that you don't understand, familiarize yourself with things, because if something happens to that person, then everybody else that depends on you around you is going to suffer, because you don't even know how to do a simple task. Like the
Mm-hmm.
gas, right? The
You
gas
know.
bill, the light bill. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know how much that is, and they don't know how to pay it online or anything like
No,
that.
guess what, Miss Nexie? I know some Caribbean people right now. They don't even know where it is that you pay the bill, much less what the bill is.
Oh, okay. So I have a friend, an older friend. She's a wonderful lady, a beautiful soul. But do you know that she's really good to my family? We're very good friends. But do you know that to this day she still goes in person to pay her Macy's card or JC Penney's?
Oh wow.
She goes in person to do the monthly payment.
What?
Yes, I give her
I
rides
I'm
sometimes.
flabbergasted right now.
But I have to give her. She's in her 80s. That's what she's used
That's
to,
all
right?
she knows.
Exactly. But I tell her I can set it up for you. And no, 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 no. I have to go. I have to go. I have to go pay it myself. And I give her rides sometimes, and I take her.
Mm.
But it's weird to me that I'm like, I get, this is how they were raised. This is, what they did their entire life. I don't know if you remember that sometimes the entire Saturday will be dedicated to paying all of, different credits that people.
Yeah. You know,
I remember that.
yeah, but you know what? I'm not saying this. This is not nothing like we're throwing shots at men and say men
No.
are bad and all of these things. I just mean on both sides. As a woman, you need to know as a woman how to pump your own gas, how to pay
Mhm.
your own bills. What are your bills? Where are the important papers located? How much are the bills every month? You should, even if you're not working, you should know how much does it take to sustain myself every month.
Yeah, and our family, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
have a family, I need to know how much it takes to, sustain our families. God forbid something happens to the person that is supporting us. But and again, it's totally different because even when I was younger, I always had to have my own money. I will do chores around the neighborhood to get money because I like money. And that was the bank. I will lend money to my siblings, Marlene, and I would
Yeah.
charge them interest, like a couple of pennies extra for, if I lend them, if I give them a loan of $1, I will charge $1.04.
Yep.
But I always had that mentality, and my sister in law's here sometimes. I'm like, you don't know what put it this way. Sometimes they don't even know what bank owns, you know, has the loan for their house. They don't know.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God, that is so scary. So scary.
Yeah.
But again,
It is so
it's
scary.
how, and when you try to, and this is, again, right? Get to know and appreciate your strong friends. Friendship are not just on friends, it's on family too. When somebody tries to educate you or, asks you those questions, it's because they care and they're trying to
Yes.
be a good friend to you. They're not being mean, they're not being nosy. They're just trying to get your little head going and, make sure that you know these things. But a lot of times, when you bring things like that up with people because you're trying to be a good friend or, a good relative, they get upset
Yes.
because you bring up these things.
Yes. It's so true. And I wanted to highlight this comment from Shelley Shell says, I love good men. Those seem few and far between these days. And you know, even though sometimes we may not be seeing good men, but those good men are definitely out there. They're definitely there taking care of kids and being responsible and going to work, and those men are still out there even though we may not see them very often.
I was about to bust out singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Yep. Yeah,
But
so I'm not saying that there are a lot of good men, but I'm saying that we have to not ignore the real men out there who are putting in the work and taking care of their kids, and they really don't get the recognition that they deserve. Like my dad never did. My poor dad, he wasn't just a dad to his 10 kids, but also to all of our friends. He was everybody's daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So shout out to the amazing dads and the amazing moms out there.
Yeah. And, and again, it's, I have to, and I thank my dad, every chance I get. I used to thank him in, person, but now just in memory. But I thank him because he could have easily just continue on with, I'm the male and you girls have to rely on us and you have to find husbands and you know what I mean? Like he could have been that type of person, that type of dad, but his thing was always do not rely on a man. I mean, he's like he will say, I'm not saying you cannot love them, you cannot trust them, no, but I'm saying find something to do because life is unpredictable. And so are men. He
Very,
always
very.
made sure that we knew that we had to take care of ourselves, make sure that we had something to fall back on in case things didn't work out the way we thought. And my sister, my older sister, she's she's a baker. She does amazing desserts and beautiful cakes, and she gets a lot of people to order her cake. I mean, she's really, really, really good. She's a stay-home mom, but that's what she did for a living, to earn a little bit extra. And so my dad always had that, you know, put in our head that hey, 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 find something that you can, fall back on if things don't go according to plan. Or if the person that you married, because your boyfriend is not going to be your husband. Things change once you get married. So make sure that you have a trade that, if anything happens, you can support yourself and your children. And I'm happy that he did that. I'm very thankful, very grateful that he was that type of dad. That he didn't blindside us, didn't sugarcoat things. He was straightforward.
Yeah, and my dad used to say things. He's like, "I'm not discounting your mother because I know that there are some women out there that will tell their girls, you'll never get married. Nobody will ever want you." So I can't say that. My mom always used to be like, "You're going to make a great wife one day." My mom was always that way. And my dad was like, "Yes, well, that may be true." if What if you want to be married and you can't find somebody that you want to marry, because it goes that way too. So, you have to be able to know how to sustain yourself in the meantime.
It's important to do all
Yeah.
those things, and it's important for you to have those good friends that if you're slacking or lacking in some way, that they'll bring you back to reality and say, hey, what are you doing wasting your time? Go do something, go find something to do. Or that guy is not good for you, you know what I mean? Like we always have to make sure that we are there for people, right? But we have to make super, super sure that they are there for us as well.
Yes, and we were talking about girls for a long period of time. I also want to say, to my male audience members as well, you know, it's important for the guys to also have the balance too of knowing certain things, knowing how to take care of um what do you call it? Know how to take care of a home, knowing how to do laundry and cooking and certain things. So it's all of those things. Things go on both sides. It's important for both genders to know how to have enough life skills to take care of themselves, whether you're in a relationship or whether you're not in a relationship. You still need to have enough, strength and wherewithal to be able to withstand any changes that may happen in your life.
That is so.
So, oh, go
Yeah.
ahead, Miss Nexie.
Oh no, no. I said that is so true. That is 100% true. My boys, they know how to do everything in the inside. They know how to cook. My son, he's, you know, army retired. He's trained. He knows how to cook. He knows how to clean. He knows how to. And my daughters, they know the inside of the house and the outside as well. They know how to change a tire. They know how to put their own gas. They know how to, listen to their cars, make sure that they know how to, because that was the one thing that, their dad said to them as well. Learn these things because the way the times are, you know, it's to a point where you're going to be changing your own tires pretty soon. There's going to be no one out there to help you. People are not being helpful. And this is, in the 90s when my kids were growing up, he will tell them, you have to learn how to do all this. Because even though you're girls, you have to be self sufficient. And he taught him how to change tires. And my daughter had flats before and she changed them herself. She didn't need anyone. And I'm very, proud of her because of that. She knew how to do all that. And we have to make sure that we're learning both sides of the coin because they're gonna be husbands, they're gonna be wives in the future, like your mom said. You're gonna be a good wife, but in order for you to do that, you need to learn both sides of the coin so that it can be
Mhm.
less problematic in the marriage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I always say while it's nice to have somebody, but you don't want to be like so overbearing that you need them to do everything for you. Like, okay, I don't have to sit like no shots, mom, I love you and everything. But my mom used to think, oh my goodness, you're hanging up your own pictures. I was like, yeah. It's like, but a man's supposed to do that. I said, why?
Yeah, no, I always correct it because my mom, it was the same way. She's the same way. Oh no, no. You have to wait for the male to do certain things. And sometimes, my girls growing up will do certain things and she'll be like, oh, don't do that, ask your dad or your brother and to do that for you, you're a girl. And I always said to her, and so did their dad, is like, no, my daughters are not going to be waiting for their husbands to be on top of what's wrong with their car. No, that's their car. They're supposed to be the ones taking care of that car because they're the ones driving it. Oh, make sure that her car gets her oil changed because now you're married, you're her husband. So I heard somebody said that before. Now you're the husband, so you got to make sure. And I said, no, yeah, they're married and that's the husband, but no, my daughter is supposed to be the one taking care of all her stuff. If her husband is kind enough to say, hey, hon, let me check on your car, let me see the oil, whatever, my daughter can say, you know what, I checked it, or yeah, I haven't checked it, go on. But she already knows how to do all that. Don't I don't like when they do that. Like, or when the moms say, "Oh, you're his wife, so now you have to do his laundry. You have to pick up after him. You have to do everything for him." No,
Yeah.
no, you don't.
Yeah,
It's a marriage.
you know what my mom used to say? Oh, it's getting late. You better get home. I was like, for what? And she says, to cook for him. And I was like, no. When I get home, dinner better be cooked for me. My mom was like, my mom almost had a heart attack. I was like, Mom, this is not the 1900s. Yeah, men have to cook. It's called equal roles in a relationship. And she was
Yeah,
like, yeah.
exactly. And that's why for me is He shouldn't be doing his laundry. The wife is the one. No, 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 no. We're equal. If I see that there's a pile of clothing, on one side, and my husband is the only one that does it, not me, I'm not just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna put him in the washer and then
Yeah,
dry it. Help him out a little. It's equal.
it's
It's supposed to
teamwork.
be exactly in the middle. Both of us are supposed to do things. If when the kitchen is dirty, and let's say there's trash all over. If I have a husband, I hope he picks up. Not wait for me until I get home, because that's girls' work, right?
Mm,
That's a woman's work. You're supposed to do all of the household work. No,
mm.
no, it should be share with one another. We
For
both
for
should know.
for me, Miss Nexia, I can't speak for all women. I'm just speaking for myself. But if I have to be in a relationship where I have to cook, clean, take care of children, have a job, then why am I in a relationship? That's just me. I can't speak for all women. I'm speaking for myself because I'm not one of those women who are going to sit down. I'm a woman. I'm going to hang. I'm going to hang up the pictures. You're going to come home and see the items if it came in the mail. I'm going to put it together. I'm not
Yeah,
waiting for you to come home and put things together for me. Or I'm not going to wait and say, "Oh, if the garbage needs to be emptied." I'm not going to sit and make the house stink. But I know some who are like that, but I'm not one of them. And
it,
the same thing, I expect if I just worked all day, a 12-hour, 14, 16-hour shift, of course, when I get home, I expect the house to be clean and some food to be cooked if you've been home for hours.
all day.
Yeah, you've been home. So if there's not food, I'm gonna come in and say, hey, what's going on?
It has, even if it's takeout, you better
I
have
don't care
something
what it
that
is. Food is food. Like some
exactly.
people feel like it has to be a home cooked meal. I'm
No,
not expecting perfection. For me, I know a lot of women are not going to like this, but I'm going to say it anyways. I don't care if you took out a frozen dinner and warmed it for me.
yes, that in itself is beautiful.
It's
You
still
did it
food,
for
and you
me.
thought of me.
Exactly, exactly. But a lot of times, again, it's coming from the background you and I come from. Sometimes we clash with our parents because
Yes.
of that stereotypical type of, you have to be this, and that's
Yep.
all you can be. No,
Yep.
this is a
Like
different
back in the
country.
day stuff, Miss Nexie, all women can do is birth children and clean a house and make some food. I'm like, sorry to tell you, it's like, Mom, these days the women are the CEOs and I have men working for my company.
Yeah, no, this is no, to me is, and my daddy used to always say that if this was back in the 1800s, she would have been stoned to death already. Make it past a certain age, because again, I'm very independent. I like to work. I like to earn my own money. I know how to change tires. I know how to change the oil of a car. I know those things because I was brought up by my dad, and he always said, he treated us as girls, but at the same time as a boy too. You have to learn both things. Don't
Right.
just sit there and rely on people to do them for you. We don't have the kind of money.
Exactly.
But I would have not passed a certain age because I have a big mouth. I
Mm.
talk back. I don't conform to just certain beliefs and
Yep.
things that people know. No, 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 no. Yeah, no, I would have not made it.
Yeah, well, Miss Nexie, what do you think used to happen to me as the youngest child and coming from a conservative family and me being very liberal?
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah. My
Trust
my
me,
my
I
dad
know.
used to laugh all the time, and he'd be like, "Are you sure this is our child?"
They didn't switch her in the
Yeah,
hospital
they're
for
like,
somebody
are
else's.
you sure this is ours? Because everything my parents would say, I would be like completely, I was like, no, I don't think so. It should not go that way. No, 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 no. This is how it should be. And my mom would be like, I'm so sick. She's talking back and she has her own ideas.
Again,
Yeah.
it's because from by our background, you have to conform, right, to certain things.
Hmm.
Like I said, with my sisters, and her husband was the breadwinner, and she was a stay-at-home mom, and over there, and now it's different, but back then women didn't work, right? They
Right.
just stayed home with their kids and relied upon everything from the husbands, and I don't think I would have been able to do that.
But Miss Nexie, but that was the time. As time went on, we became enlightened. We had opportunities. There were different choices. They came from that period of time where they didn't have choices.
Again, this is it though. If I was gonna be a stay-at-home mom, I would have come up with some sort of sales from home. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like I could have not just been there sitting down taking care of my kids, yeah, cleaning the house, whatever, but I would have found a way to make money from home. You
No,
could sell little fruits and little bags,
you. I
whatever
was.
you had to
I
do.
was gonna. But Miss Nexie, you know who we are. We're natural hustlers.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been a hustler since I was a very small child, maybe
Yeah, me
between
too.
between 7 to 9 years old. I've been hustling and making money since I was
Yeah,
seven.
me too. I was 7 years old. I started working. I called
So,
that was my job. I used to go
mhm.
to the neighbors and ask them, you want me to sweep the front, or I will go to the supermarket. You want me to carry your bags? And I will get like a quarter,
Mhm.
and 15 cents. And I'll do a lot of, carrying and I think people would just give them to me because I was so little. I was working with my best friend. We were working. We were in a, we owned our own company. The two of us, and so I think people just felt sorry for us. I think and they
There's
gave
like,
us.
oh, just give her
They're
the
so
quarter so we can get
cute.
rid of her.
Yeah, they're so cute. Poor little things. So we will carry, their bags to the buses, or, to their houses, and they'll give us a quarter, or, 15 cents. I will go to my neighbor sometimes. Do you want me to sweep the front, or do you want me to sweep your back? And, whatever you want to give me. And they didn't need it, but they probably did it because,
Hmm.
they thought it was cute that that little thing was going around asking. But I always wanted to earn my own living. Like I couldn't, like I'm telling you, I was that young, and I would think of my sister. I would think like, oh, what if something happens to your husband? What are you gonna do?
No, do you know when I was 9 years old and I saw like certain things? Because my dad used to talk to me straight about things like, this is how much the light bill is, this is how much the water bill. And my mom used to be so upset. Don't tell her that. Don't tell her that. But I used to ask my dad stuff. I was like, woman, be quiet. We're handling business in here.
I want to see how soon I can leave this
That's what
hellhole
I was saying. I was planning. I said, I need to know how much money I need to have so I can get out of here.
until reality strikes at
And
18,
then when
right?
I turned 18, I was like, oh, I guess I'm not leaving.
Yeah, no, it's cheaper to stay home. I can deal with her better now. I'm
I was like,
18.
yeah, I can handle her. I'll just drive
Yeah.
away. But,
Oh my
but that's
god.
how were we ridiculous when we were young? I know I was ridiculous.
Oh,
I felt so bad. I told my mom when I got to be like about 20, 22. I was like, Mom, I'm so sorry for everything. And my mom's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mom said, you see all this hair dye? That's you.
you're gonna have to do a lot of sorries for like an entire year nonstop, every 15 minutes for everything that you have done
Yep.
or said to me.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
no, no, yeah, I'm telling you, I was always someone that was everywhere with, always planning, right?
Mhm.
Always saving for a rainy day. And in our household, it was always pouring. But I always
Yes.
wanted to save for a rainy day. And I always had my money. I always had my little piggy bank. I had it, hidden. And I always had my little stash because sometimes I will see my dad worry about certain things. And then he will come home and I had already paid the light bill, when I was like 12, 13. That's when I started doing those things. And my dad was like so grateful because, he was single dad for all of
Yeah.
us. So I always try to help as much as I could. I always had that in mind. And it was proud of myself. But, I ran away like a couple of times. I did. I took my piggy bank. That's the one thing I took. And
Miss
a couple of
Nancy, at least you were
toys.
prepared. You took a piggy bank. At least you were thinking money. I brought a Barbie plate and some toys and a change of outfit for my Barbies. I brought nothing for myself.
Oh no, no! I took the piggyback was the first thing, and then I think I put like a couple of like a mango or something,
See,
and
you were
then
prepared.
but I didn't take any clothing because I don't know. It didn't occur to me that I was supposed to change, take a shower. So I don't know. It just didn't come to me. But that's the thing, though. When you are this type of person, you expect sometimes, your friends, right, the people that you love, to kind of be at the same level with you,
Yes.
to be that support that you are for them, because growing up the way we did, it's why we are a certain way with people.
Yeah. That's why we're the way that we are, and it's not that we're trying to be bitter or say, men are bad or certain women are certain. We're not labeling
Mm-mm.
anybody. We're just stating our personal truth and our stories and our lives so that we can help somebody to see, like, we made these mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes, when it comes to not knowing where your bills are, not planning for your future, not thinking that we deserve better, or staying in relationships where we're treated like absolute garbage. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to. You don't have to put up with that and stay around that.
And also, there's good men out there, right, that are they are the men of the household. They support the entire household. But I think as a woman, you should also put yourself in his shoes. If
Mhm.
something ever someday if something ever happens to them, make sure that they know that you got their back. That if something happens to them, they lose their job, they get injured, whatever happens, that they can have peace of mind that you know how to do the things that he knows as well.
Mhm.
That will give him an assurance, financially at least, to be able to um, heal and go back to work or find another job. But I've seen that, these men, they do everything. The wives have no idea of
Mm.
what's going on. How can this poor man ever get sick and say, if I get sick, it's okay because she's got this? You know what I mean? Like, so we have good men out there that sometimes um, women take advantage of.
Miss Nexie, sometimes.
So for me, it's always been like that. Like in a marriage, both of us have to be okay with everything. We both have to know it's an equal partnership. You're not better than I am. We're both in this together. So I'm
Yeah.
the type of person that I'm very frugal. I'm not someone that likes to spend money. I make it, and it's hard earned money. And I've always been someone that is content with what I have. I don't have to be buying, new stuff every week or every month. I buy what I need, my necessity, my essentials, and I'm happy with that because that's how I am. I'm not someone that likes to be shopping all the time.
Miss Ne-
I'm someone that
Miss
likes to eat out.
Miss Nexie, I was about, I was almost, you almost had me with that, Miss Nexie, until you said I was like, I said, but what about eating out? Then I was like, okay, okay, now I'm with you. Okay,
I am
I can
someone.
do the not spending, not buying
Yeah,
shoes and purses, all, but
but my
the
food.
eating. But buying, like I'm not going to tell you, I spend an exorbitant amount of money on groceries.
Me too.
It's
And
ridiculous.
and guess what? If I have a fridge full of stuff, but I want to order something, I'll do it. I'm someone that likes to do that. I like to travel, so my money, instead of wasting it on things that don't matter, that don't do anything, because a shirt is a shirt, pair of pants a pair of pants, shoes are shoes for me. Now, if I want to take a trip somewhere and enjoy and have fun, that's what my money is for.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm very frugal in that if I can find the same product somewhere else cheaper, I'm going to go there because it's cheaper. Not that I cannot afford it. That's not the point. The point here is that why not walk the extra 10, 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever time drive to get it cheaper somewhere else? That's how I am. I'm
You
crazy
know
like
what
that.
I learned? I'm grateful that I had a mother because, well, I'll just say it. My mother was bougie. Okay, that's where I get who I am from. My mother was very bougie, but my mom taught me certain things about quality.
She
It's
was
not about
smart,
spend,
smart
not about
bougie.
not yes, she was smart bougie. So she liked nice things, but she would tell us about fabrics and what would tear up and what is good. This will, and she would say, this, get this. This is better than this, and she would show us why. Like, take it. You see how easy that ripped. So
It,
I
it,
have all of those things in my mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when I say frugal, I don't mean that I go and buy a $2 shirt. You know what I mean? I do a certain brand because I know that it's long lasting. I know that it's great quality. I spend on that, and it takes years for that shirt to fade away. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's how I am. Now, I'm a big promoter of savings. Save as much as you can. Always have money aside. Besides having it, in a bank, always have something on the side that you can grab and go in case of an emergency. I'm a big promoter of that. Save your money. Don't waste it because, there will be a day that you may need that money. And life will be a lot easier if you have those good habits. Spend your money on food, enjoy life, but always save.
Yeah.
Don't just waste your entire salary and not save a penny. Always save. And
You,
I've always done that.
yes. You know what my mom used to always say? And you, maybe some ladies will not agree with me, but my mom always used to tell all of us girls, and my dad didn't like it, but he kind of agreed with it. He says it's better that you buy this $10 bag and then you have $90 in it than to buy $100 bag and you have nothing in it.
Yep. That's exactly what my dad
And I
always
used to
said
be like,
too.
and my dad would be like, oh, yeah. He would be like, yes and no. He's like, you should have to worry about the money in there because your man should give you the money. But my my dad would be like, right, right. He didn't agree with it, but that's what my mom. So I got things from both parents. My dad taught me. My dad was always in my ear, like, okay, I know you're saying you want this, but what about this? And what about your savings? And what is going on here? And do you have your insurance? So I've never gotten away from that.
From reality.
Yeah, the reality. My mom was like, "Oh, be pretty, look beautiful, have your hair done," and I'm like, that's not realistic." Okay, But my dad would be like, you can look nice, but you don't have to spend $1 million. And my mom would be like, don't tell her that. If she wants to spend $1 million, let her spend. So our parents were hilarious together.
And but that is the thing. Like for me, because I've had experiences with people where, you know, they're driving the latest model of a certain car, but they have is the car and gas money, but nothing else, because they want to be
Mm,
driving the latest. And that's something that I've never understood. It's like I get it, cars are nice and everything, but for me, it's just a need to take me from point A to point B. How I what kind of car takes me there, I don't care as long as it takes me there. But I have the money to go from point A, my house, to point B, a nice restaurant, and enjoy my day and not worry about it, a car
yeah.
note or anything. I have never had a car note in my life. All of our cars have been bought cash, straight.
Miss Nexie, that's a Caribbean thing.
As well,
Yes.
my first car, I saved up and saved up and saved up, and eventually I went and I had the 14,000 that it cost back then. I paid it cash, and that was that. I have never had a car loan ever. My truck, same thing,
Yep.
you
My,
know.
my 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 dad used to be like, my dad and my brothers, they tested it out. There's like, okay, you want a car? How much do you have? Do you have enough for insurance? Like they prepared me for it. Not just It's not just ha 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 ha, you have a car and you can ride.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have enough money to put gas in it? What about an oil change? What if your transmission goes? And I was like, that's expensive. And he's like, well, you can't get in a car until you have.
And again, all this thing, and this is what we're saying, the today's topic, you have to take care of those people. You have to, be grateful for having people like that are going to tell you like it is. They're not going to sugarcoat anything. This is how it is. Yes, you want this, you want that. But guess what? That comes with the price. Because if something happens, that you get that car and your transmission goes out, it's just gonna be sitting on the parking because on the parking space because you have no money to fix it.
Exactly.
So,
Hmm.
it can be friends, it can be a relative, it can be someone that loves you and cares for you and is gonna always look out for you. Those are the people that we gotta appreciate.
Yes. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm grateful to have that I grew up on both sides of, like, my mom was very practical, but my dad was very like in my head. He always dropped in some seeds of doubt, like, what if this happens? And what if that happens? What are you gonna do? He'd be like, baby girl, what would you do if this happened and then this happened? And I'd be like, I do this and I do this. And he'd be like, yes, score, you won. All right, what about this?
What? That too? Oh, I don't know how to do that. No.
Yeah, yeah. It's all of those things, and it's so important to have people that, even if it's not from your relatives, to make sure you have people in your life that will be supportive of you in that, whether it's a friend, whether it's your spouse or significant other, whether it's a neighbor. But it's important to have people in your life that you can trust and that you can lean on, that actually will care about you, and it won't just be, about them, you know?
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. And
And
people that are gonna tell you exactly what you need to hear, and it may not be pleasant. It may not be something nice, but that you need at that moment. Sometimes it's a rude awakening, but sometimes you need people in your life that can just, say it like it is and bring you back to reality. If you're in La La Land, you need people like that. You need people that care enough for you to give it to you straight between your eyes.
yeah, because I'm grateful that I have people like, oh, they were like, oh, you want a Mercedes Benz? It's like, what about that when that Mercedes Benz breaks down? And I'm like, Then it'll break down. Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm not getting a Benz.
Yeah. Okay. So you see this one here. Okay. So the transmission goes out. This one is gonna cost you about $400 or $500. You want your Mercedes? Yeah, that's gonna be $2,500. So where are you gonna get that from?
Yeah, exactly.
Insurance on this one, about $200-$300 a month. You want that one? Yeah, that's gonna be about $600-$700 a month of insurance.
Hmm.
So where are we going with this? Yeah, you cannot get a Mercedes, honey. So whatever you need to do is not just get it in your mind. Just think that you're driving it.
Yeah.
Picture it.
You have to you
Picture
have to
yourself in it.
you have to start thinking more in terms of practicality, affordability, what is not going to like stress you out. Like certain people are paying, working three jobs in order to live in a certain apartment or to have a certain truck or car or to have a certain lifestyle or whatever. And, to each his or her own. But I'm not willing to work another job just so that I can say I live in this home or I have this car or I wear shoes that have a red bottom. I'm not gonna. No, no. Mm-mm. I'm not going to.
Again, coming from the background that we come from, sometimes it is we get told the dark reality of things, right? We don't get babied or anything like that. They tell you like it is for certain things, and those are the people in our lives that we need to be grateful for. We need to appreciate because they stop us from making colossal mistakes sometimes,
Yeah.
from not buying that, because again, I have had experiences with people that own a beautiful car or a beautiful home but have no money for anything else, just the mortgage, the home insurance or whatever, and are scraping by every month because they want to live in a house that they cannot afford. And
Exactly.
that's not something. I'm not criticizing anyone for where they want to live, but at the same time you need to think about, okay, I'm gonna be stuck with this house for the next 50 years, right? 30 years or whatever, paying this house note. Do I want to make it easy on me so that I can continue to live life and enjoy life, or do I just want to be working to pay my house? It makes no sense.
Exactly. Exactly. Everything is about balance,
It's about
balance, balance,
balance.
balance. Hey Trio, how are you doing?
Hi, Gio. And having, those people that sometimes when you like something, you want to get it, you want to do it, but having someone in your ear, in your corner saying, are you sure? Come on, that doesn't make
Mhm.
sense. You're going to be doing this. Da, 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 da. They bring everything to the forefront, put them in front of your face, and you start saying, okay. So you need people like that. And those are the people that, we have to, again, appreciate, because I'm telling you, Marlene, I haven't made. I've had my friends for a very long time. This two people, three people, four now, but two that are really good friends, three now that are really my best friends, and one that is just a good friend that I've had him for a long time. I haven't been able to make friendships like that with people like that in a very long time, because it's hard to make friendships nowadays
It is very hard.
with people that of substance, people that have their feet on the ground, people that are loyal and that are gonna be a good friend. I haven't been able to make this type of friendships, and you know in the past 20 years, and it's
Wow.
sad because you look at, I've had so many friends in the past, and some are fallen relationships or whatever, but I was able to make friends, and trusting friends, lasting friendships. Nowadays that's not something that people do. or are willing to do. It's weird.
I know. It is weird, isn't it?
Hmm. Very
I
much so.
I just don't understand why people do what they do. Why people act like they act, but everybody is different and wants different things, and certain people are just not mature, the most mature people. And you just have to let people be themselves. But today was all about talking about checking on your strong people. So you know, we forget sometimes about the your parents, maybe your mother or father, now they're older, or that auntie that raised you, or the other people, in your life that really care about you and have supported you. And now that you're older, do you go by and check on them? Do you call them? They may not be the ones to always ask you for help, but you should still be at, show up. For me, I remember my mom used to say, "Oh no, I'm good, I'm okay." And then when you go over there, you're like, what's going on in here?"
What do you mean you're okay?
So, they're usually the people who don't ask for things are the ones that need things, but they don't want to bother you because they feel like, well, you have your own bills and you have your own issues. But whoever it is in your life, who needs the support. Go and check on them. I'm the person that you could tell me you're okay, but I need to go and look at you in your face. I need to see how your house is. I need to see what you're eating. Yeah. I was like,
How you're doing
yeah,
overall?
how you're really doing. Like, not what you say, I'm doing good, but are you really okay? So,
Mm-hmm. And
all of those things.
when you have friends like that, long time friendships, you can tell in their voice what they're not okay,
Yes.
even though they're telling you they're okay.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
I'm
tell.
fine. Yeah, girl, I'm good.
Uh-huh. I go to the house and you're good. When did you get here? I just got here. I was talking to you and I said, let me go check on her. So why are we still on the phone? And I have you in front of me. I don't know. Just continue the conversation.
Yeah, because sometimes even when people start acting weird, you're like, okay, I'm about to, after work, I'm going to go and just pull up on them. And they'll be like, what are you doing here? Oh, yeah, I just came by to say hi. Oh, you don't want to let me in? Uh-huh. Why not? Because what? Because my air conditioner is broke. Why didn't you tell me? Why are you in here sweating
Ex-
to death? You know what I mean?
yeah, or you get there and do you need anything from the market? I'm going, no, no, I'm cool. Everything is fine. No, I'm fine, fine. You get there and the fridge is empty. Why is this fridge empty? And why didn't you tell me that you had lost your job or that you don't have a car to go to the market? Or you know what I mean? Like, you have to make sure, you have to check on your people. And what I mean on your people, I don't mean your family only. I mean people that are there for you. Make sure you're always checking on them. Make sure that you're on top of, if they're paying their bills, if they have enough money, if they have enough food, how healthy they are, whatever, if they have any need of anything. Make sure that you're on top of that, because good friends are hard to find nowadays.
Yes, and Gio says she had to learn to ask for help. I think that's the thing when we're talking about strong people, to maintain your strength. Everybody is not okay sometimes, and it's not that you need a financial help. Sometimes you just need somebody like, I need to get this out of my head. Like, I'm going crazy. You just want someone to vent with, or for someone to get, like, maybe assist you with an idea, or a plan, or whatever it is. But you have to get some support. Sometimes it's venting mentally, sometimes it's some spiritual support, sometimes it could be whatever, just somebody that you can just put your head on their shoulder and just get some comfort. Sometimes you just need some good old compassion. I'm being
Hmm.
honest. Yeah.
Sometimes you get there and there's nothing to say, but you're just
Mhm.
sitting there, you know, watching the other person cry or vent out, and you're just there for support. And in when again, good friendships and good, family relationships are hard to keep and maintain nowadays. If we have them, we have to make sure that we are treating them the way we want to be treated as well. That we are taking care of them, um, making sure that they're okay, making sure that um, they're eating well, that they look healthy, they're not losing or gaining too much weight. We have to make sure of all those things. We got to give them a once over just
Mm-hmm.
to make sure every couple of weeks, give them a once over if you don't see them often.
Mm-hmm.
Do a FaceTime call, a video chat call, whatever it is. You do
Yes.
one of those.
You know what? You know what I do, Miss Nexie? I have to. I was like, you better answer my phone because I'll be in your driveway in 5 minutes. Okay, okay. I'm picking up my phone. I'm calling you now.
Marlene, we I had a friend. We she's mm, no longer with us, but I had this feeling this foreboding feeling, like this weird feeling. And I called one of our friends and I said, you know what? Let's go. Let's show up. And no, we should call her. I said, no, let's just show up. We're just going to say that we were in the neighborhood and we brought something for the kids or something. But I had this feeling the whole day. And we get there to the house, and she had the little chain on top, the lock, the inside.
Uh-oh.
She had it up there, and she opened, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? We're in the neighborhood and wanted to see the kiddos. We tried to call you, but you didn't answer the phone, so we're in the neighborhood. And oh, yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. Maybe we can get together. I said, no, we're already here. We just wanted to see how you guys were doing. How's your husband? And she's talking to us through the door like that, and looking at me like, call the police, right? Do something. And I said, okay, then,
Mm.
I guess I'll call you tomorrow. I know you're busy, so I'll call. We'll get together tomorrow. And all of a sudden, the door just slammed. It closed. Almost got her nose in between it. And we called the
Ooh.
police. We called the police, and she was going. Her husband was
Mm.
going crazy on her, and he wouldn't let her out, and he had already hit her, and so the police showed
Oh
up.
no, you already got me triggered. Where's my cutlass? Hold on.
And the police we stayed there waiting for the popo. And once they showed up and they took him, I took her to my house.
Mm.
And you know again, you have to do this because sometimes you don't know what they're going through. We already knew what was going on, kind of, but that day we found out how deep it went, how bad it was. And I had this feeling like I have to go. I have to see her. I can call her, but no, I have to go to her house. And
Wow.
sometimes they don't tell you because of shame or whatever. You know,
Oh man, that makes me so mad.
it's made me mad for years.
Yeah, I'm mad, and I don't even know her. I'm mad for like nobody, and I don't care. It's on both sides. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or it doesn't matter if
It's a
it's
man.
a man. I do not put up with people who put their hands on somebody. I don't put up with that. Keep your hands to yourself, and if you're not getting along, then leave. Then
She
leave.
she tried.
No, I know. I'm not talking about her, Miss Nexie. I'm talking about the person
Oh
who,
no, no, yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot of times it's that sometimes we dismiss those feelings, right, Marlene? Those
Mhm.
that sixth sense that we all have, and that's why it's important for us to keep on checking on our loved ones. on that people that were always in contact with us, and then all of a sudden they're not on, returning our phone calls, they're not hanging out. Why? There has to be something wrong. Let's go check. Sometimes it can be, I don't want to deal with you guys right now. I get that. Good. You don't have to, but you're okay. Right? But we have to make sure that, we're always keeping tabs on people that are always there for us, people that we care for, not just dismiss those feelings that that we have. Make sure we follow up on it. Like, I'm telling you, that day it was so weird because I had just seen her like 2 days, 3 days before, but all day I had that thing, like that anxiety, and I started thinking about her, and I called my other best friend. I said, "We have to go. We have to really go right now. I don't know why. We just have to go." So sometimes you get that feeling of, I have to see this person. Do it. You never know. They might be sick, and you can get there and go get the medicine. Make them a little soup or something. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep an
But
eye on.
sometimes it could be something as simple as they may have a cold or something, and sometimes people are literally so weak that they can't even do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I always tell my sister, I was like, all you have to do is come to knock on my door, say, "Don't open the door. I'm contagious, but I need help."
Yep.
And then go back in your car and leave, and I'll go drop you off something.
Yeah. And then first, I'm gonna Lysol the entire
Yeah, I'm
front
gonna
of the
Lysol
house.
my entire door, probably bleach it too.
Yeah. And then after that is done, I'll take your soup.
That's how it goes. But what realist says, this is true about people who put their hands on somebody. I hate it. I hate it too, Shelly. And if people give hands, they got to be ready to receive it. And I found that the people who like to put their hands on somebody, they are so skittish. Like, they can't handle or take anything. They're so sensitive about things.
They're
And
insignificant.
yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, I found that the people who are the ones that like to talk the most smack, they are the biggest punks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flirt.
Oh my God, Flirt, how are you? And again, we have those constant friends, right? That we have a connection with, and they're, like I said, you know their voice, their moods, all of those things. So don't dismiss anything. Just make sure that you're always checking on, because you have no idea how many times, Marlene, we came to her house, or right in the middle of something, and we stopped it because we showed up, right? And
Mm,
those are the things that, I'm sad because she's no longer with us
mm.
by the hands of another.
Rest in
But
peace.
yes, yes, hopefully she is. But I am happy that we were that close, that I could tell, or my other friend would call me and say, "You know what? I've been thinking, let's go." And we will do that. And that person will be mad, yelling at us, kicking us out of the house. And I remember telling him once, "You kick me out of the front door, I'm gonna come in through a window.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna leave. So stop it, or I'm gonna call the police on you." And she's not doing it, I'm doing it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you know, again, when people like that, you have to always make sure that you're checking, because sometimes you don't even know that it's an abusive relationship until you witness it, because we didn't know how bad it was. We didn't, until that day that we witnessed that. And it was so sad, and I was so mad, so sad, so scared, so everything. And
Wow.
and again, that's why it's important for you to keep an eye on those you love. And if you see something, say something, right? It's the
Yeah.
one thing that is unfortunate, but we have to remind people of that.
Yeah.
I don't remember having to be reminded. If I see something, say something, because I will say it.
Yeah,
But
I don't need to be see my I can't say a lot because the person on YouTube, I'm generally about 90% of the same, but I do have that 10%, as the Jamaicans would call, lion blood. That I'll tear and break up and destroy things if it's necessary.
yeah, and she's sweet.
I'm
Just don't,
sweet.
just don't get to that sour part of her, because she, ooh,
Ooh, don't break open the sour.
yeah, and again, we bring these topics a lot of times here with you, Marlene, is because these are things that have happened, that happen to people. And it's important because sometimes we get so busy with life that we neglect
Yes.
our other, our surroundings, the people that we love sometimes, because we get so busy with every day. But
Yes.
it's important to always make sure that that you are in constant guard of those you love, because that's the one thing I have no regrets on. Even though she's no longer with us, we were always there, protecting, supporting. Even if it was just to sit there and cry, it didn't matter.
Hmm.
We're always there. And that's the one thing I can take with me. And I have kept. It's going to be what, 5 years now? 6 years now
Wow.
since she was unalived by him.
Mm.
And I still have those fresh memories of all the things that we did to protect her. And no matter how far she ran, that person always found her. It was sad. It was sad.
Mm. Wow.
But we were always keeping tabs. We weren't far off. Like every day, 3 4 times a day, we were all checking, making sure everything was okay. And we had a code word, right? And you say that word, and I'm right there. And as much as he tried to kick us out and try to separate us, the more he tried, the more together we came.
Yeah.
He
But it's
never
a
went.
good thing that at least your friend knew that she had support. She knew people loved her. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, a lot of times when people are in those situations, they don't feel that they're loved by anybody because the person that is the abuser has isolated them from any human contact or any support.
Yeah, and again, it's something that it costs you nothing, right? A quick phone
Mhm.
call. Always have those code words with friends. If we say this, rush over to my house because something's going on, right?
Yeah.
And it's as sad as it is, but you have to have them.
You
We
have
live
to
in
have
that type
code
of,
words.
yeah, we live in that type of world. My sisters and I, we have a code word. If I say a certain thing, my sister knows that she has to do something, call someone. And same with me. If something like that, I know that something is going on. You have to have those because you don't know, you know what your surroundings are going to be,
Yeah,
especially the way
because
we're living.
because sometimes you could be in a situation that if you call somebody, all you have time to do is to say the code word and then you hang up.
Mm-hmm.
No, you have to go through those like situations. But great topic, Miss Nexie.
Ah,
Great,
Miss Marlene,
great
I
topic.
I don't know if I lost you.
No,
Did I
I
lose you?
hear you.
Okay, good, good, good. Oh, thank God. I was like, did I hang up on
No,
her?
no, no,
Okay. Yeah,
no.
it is. It is a great topic. In life, lessons are exactly that. If if something is happening, you won't know unless you're in constant uh, on the lookout for your loved ones.
Right. And
So we have to check on our good people all the
we
time.
do, we do, we do. Yes, Flurg, please pass that on. It's a smart move. Like if all a person can say is say the code word and hang up, that's the sign. Don't call me back. Do not call me back.
Hmm.
All you need to know is get where I am. Don't
Yep.
call me back. Don't ask questions. What's going on? This is not the time for that. When I use this code word, it's only in an emergency situation. And if I say this code word, get here immediately.
Yep. And it works every time. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be something. If you feel like threatened, or if you feel uncomfortable, or if you want that person to leave but you don't know how, and you can text the code word and people know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can
Come
text it.
rescue me, come rescue me.
Yep.
Yeah, we learned a lot from what happened to our friend. But
Mm,
the one thing I was very happy at the end is that she got to leave. She left, and that was a win for her. It made her whole again. you know to be able to say I'm done and move out and do it, regardless of what the ending was. That empowered her. And that's why we have to make sure we're constantly checking on our people, make sure that nothing like that is ever going on, because you never know.
exactly. Exactly. Great topic, Miss Nexie.
Yes, Miss Marlene.
And
Yes.
everybody in the chat, I know you guys enjoyed it. This was a great one about strong people. So, tune in to next week's episode. We
But
never know what we're going to talk about. You just have to be here to find out what it is.
we start with one topic and end in another. So
Yes,
you never know. That's how it is.
that's how it is here.
That's how we do it. Thank you for having me, Miss Marlene. Thank you,
Thank
thank you, thank you.
you, Miss Nexie. And shout out to all my amazing moderators. I have channels. Please subscribe to all their channels. Realist One here, Boss Life Online, Slice of Farming. I don't know who. Retirement Days. Yeah, subscribe to my amazing mods. Oh, Nate the Great Podcast. And
Yes. Hey,
to
Nate.
Yes, and to all of my amazing supporters, my amazing members, I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you're taking care of yourself, loving on yourself, and doing what you need to do so that you can be okay.
It, ditto on that one. And regardless of what your friends or family members may say, still check on them. Make sure that they are safe.
Yes.
Make sure
Yep.
that they know that they can count on you, that you're there. Always make sure that you're checking up ones. Always.
Yes. Yeah.
And thank you for coming, everybody.
Thank you so much, everybody. See you guys on next week's episode. Bye.
We'll see you